In this video, we're going to talk about auto negotiation, speed, and duplex. So we have a laptop on the left, and which is connected with an Ethernet cable from its Ethernet NIC card to an Ethernet switch, which happens to be in a home router. The NIC card on our laptop can operate in full and half duplex. Also bandwidth 10 megabits per second and 100 megabits per second. The port that it's connected to in this Ethernet switch can operate in full and half duplex, 10 megabits per second, 100 megabits per second, or 1,000 megabits per second, which is 1 gigabit per second. So both the NIC card on our laptop and the port on the switch is performing auto negotiation, which is usually the default on both. Since they both can do full duplex, they'll do full duplex. That is, being able to send the bits both directions at the same time, receive and transmit at the same time. They'll also auto-negotiate the highest common bandwidth between the two. In this case, the highest common bandwidth is 100 megabits per second. Although the switch can do 1,000 megabits per second, that port on the switch, the NIC card on this laptop cannot. Let's take a look at a couple of examples here. So on this PC has an Ethernet NIC card. It operates in full and half duplex. Notice the bandwidth is 1,000 megabits, 100 megabits, and 10 megabits. However, it is connected to an Ethernet switch, port number 2. And this port can only do 100 megabits or 10 megabits. Well, since 100 megabits is the highest common bandwidth between the two devices, then they will use 100 megabits per second. They can both do full duplex, so they'll do full duplex. Now, what would happen if we moved this device, unplugged this cable, to another port on the switch? This port happens to be able to do 100 megabits, or I'm sorry, 10 megabits per second, 100 megabits per second, or 1,000 megabits per second, 1 gigabit per second. Well, since they both can achieve 1,000 megabits per second, they will auto-negotiate the highest common bandwidth between them, which is 1,000 megabits per second, or 1 gigabit. And they can both do full duplex, so they'll also auto-negotiate full duplex. Now, what if we connected this NIC card to a legacy Ethernet hub? Ethernet hubs only operate in half duplex. This hub only does 10 megabits per second, which is quite common. These are legacy devices. You do not want to use Ethernet hubs, but I just want to show you the auto negotiation of the duplex as well. 10 megabits is the highest common bandwidth that they can both do. And because the Ethernet hub only does half duplex, then our Ethernet NIC will also auto-negotiate half duplex. That means it can send or it can receive, but it can't do both simultaneously. Otherwise, you have a collision.